Hi, so today we're going to be making my own version of Chinese stir-fry chicken and broccoli. I have some broccoli florets in here, probably about 2 cups. I'm using about 1.5 pounds of chicken. We have 1 sweet onion that I just cut up, and I'm going to boil the florets of broccoli for about 5 minutes and then make them just blanched, and then we put them into the stir fry. The nice thing about this meal is that you get to control the sodium, right? You get to figure out what works for your family. My husband is on the heart transplant list, so we really don't eat takeout. You know, if I cook it, if he cooks it, we're able to really control the intake. So we're going to use low sodium chicken broth. We're going to use low sodium soy sauce, some ginger, 2 tablespoons of ginger, 1 sweet onion, some minced garlic, and 1 tablespoon of flour, and salt and pepper. So now we're going to just put olive oil. I use extra virgin olive oil in our pan, in our skillet, and we just let that warm up. And then I have my garlic. I tend to use a lot of garlic. My mom was a nurse, and she was very much into holistic methods to ward off sickness. Oftentimes when I was sick, she would tell me to eat a clove of garlic with honey, and that helped. So we're big garlic people in this house. So let's just put some garlic down. I use a lot. I use 2 heaping tablespoons, because that's just the preference for my family. Now, obviously, you do whatever your family likes, right? I mean, my husband and my son love a lot of garlic and some spice in their food, so that works out well. Now, just let this warm up a bit. I'm going to turn up the temperature a wee bit, and now I'm going to put down my onions, and we want to just cook these. Now again, I use a lot of onions because we like it. You can tailor this dish to whatever makes sense for your family, right? I have a few pieces of broccoli in here. Let me take that out. I'm just going to put a little bit more olive oil here. Hope you're having a good day. I've had a really good day, and I felt energetic enough to cook a nice meal, which is always great. I just love that. So let's see. I'm going to get these going. I use a lot of onion. And truth be told, my son really doesn't like it. But onion is also very good for you. It's a detoxifier and an antioxidant, and it helps clean your blood, from what I've learned. So we like it. We like it very much. And the other thing that this recipe calls for, which is great, is fresh ginger, which is a big healer. Okay, so this is coming along really nice. The onions are getting sort of clear, translucent, right? And what I do is I just transfer them to save using a different pan. I just transfer them to a dish. And then I start to cook the chicken. And again, I use a lot of onion. I actually put in more than 1 here. So it's really just your personal preference, right? So I go down, more olive oil again. And then I have washed the chicken, but I have not cut it up yet. So let's do that. Okay. And always, for me, what I try to do is kind of clean up as I go along, because typically before I started really working on myself, I would make an absolute mess of everything and be like a hurricane came through the house. And, you know, it kind of makes for not a great meal when you've destroyed the kitchen. So I try to clean up as I go and try to use the least amount of cans as I can. So I'm doing 2 massive chicken breasts. I just kind of gauge it. I was going to do 3, but this is a huge amount of chicken. Again, I'll have the specifics in the description, but it's going to be up to you to really do this how you feel. It's certainly not brain surgery, right? So a lot of times if my son isn't here with us, I make it with red bell pepper or yellow bell pepper, which gives it a little bit of sweetness, which is absolutely fantastic. I wash my hands. Now we're just going to brown this, which will take about 10 minutes. The thing that I like about this meal is that you can do it very quickly. It's, 10-minute prep, and it takes about 20 minutes to cook. So if you're looking for a meal for a weeknight, for example, which I always am, this is a good one. This is a good recipe for that. Especially if you buy the rice, which I know, I recognize that that's a little lazy, but, we do what we do. We do what we can do. And sometimes, life calls for you to do some things, kind of take a shortcut. And that's what I do with this meal. It would cost me more probably to make the rice. And I don't make rice very well. Like I said, I have to get a rice maker, but I haven't done that yet. So this is becoming nice and cooked. We got to keep going here. So the chicken is cooking nicely, and I'm just using my thermometer just to check each piece. And the ones that are not quite at 160 degrees, I kind of bring to the middle of the pan. But I think we're good now. I check everything because I'm terrified of serving raw meat to my family. Okay, so now we go down with the broth, the soy sauce, the ginger, and the onion. Now, I just use a cup. Literally, this is an 8-ounce cup, so that's what I use. Low sodium chicken broth. We want to go in with 2 cups. I'm just actually doing 1.5. You have to eyeball it too and see how it looks. And then let's do the onions. Just put them over there. And I just want to make the sauce first before so we're going to now go down with a tablespoon of flour to thicken it. And you can just really sprinkle it in. Sprinkle it in there. And we want our ginger now, our fresh ginger, and soy sauce. So I also use Kikkoman's low sodium soy sauce. So I just go in, it's really 2 tablespoons, but I just, again, eyeball it. And we might put in a little bit more depending on the taste. you just kind of mix it up, bring up the heat a bit. The chicken's cooked, so are the onions. The smell is quite divine right now, I have to say. And you just stir this around, let it simmer. So as you can see, this is boiling nicely. And this is when I add my ginger. Now, I'm pretty generous with ginger. The recipe only calls for 1 tablespoonful, but again, there's a lot of healing powers in ginger, so I kind of, and my husband loves it, and my son. So it's all about preference, right? Whatever works for you, whatever makes your family happy. And now we're going to add the broccoli, which has already been blanched. And just fold that in. I remember on a Schitt's Creek episode, Moira was telling, I forget what the son's name is, but she's telling the son to fold cheese in. And he's very upset because he doesn't know what folding it in means. Folding it in means just mixing it in, really. So that's it. So I'm just going to plate this now with your rice from the Chinese restaurant. And of course our wonderful chicken. And I think this looks pretty good. The sauce tastes wonderful. And again, you have to taste it to see if you like it. If you think it needs more soy sauce, more salt, more pepper. I did not put red flakes in this, red pepper flakes. The recipe does call for that. My son doesn't like anything spicy. But if it was just for me and my husband, we would probably opt for the spice. So this is just a quick option for a healthy meal. You've got your starches, you've got your veg, and you've got your protein. And not a lot of salt. I mean, of course, there's always going to be salt in soy sauce, but it just allows you to be a little bit, you can cheat a little bit with this, right? So I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.